Hello Commanders! Welcome to the command table. I am Mathermar and we are continuing with our journey walkthrough. We are we're about to finish halfway through the Arcane Desert with these next 5 battles. So before we get into that, if you would please be so kind as to like, subscribe, and if you want notifications when I drop new videos, please hit that notification bell. And if you have any comments or questions, or if you need alternative units, we can maybe recommend something for you. So please feel free to leave a question below. All right, let's get right after it. Battle 226. Okay, here we have 2 Stormcallers, 2 Frost Wizards, 3 Shield Bearers, and an Untamed Beast. Now, usually we'll just use a bomb bot to take care of the Untamed Beast, but since there's a lot of other melee units, I figured we'd go ahead and plug in the Thorn Guards. Now, we've got the closest available melee unit being the Thorn Guards to that Valkyrie, which means that it's going to link to one of them. Everything else is going to pop back to this other side and get all of the more troublesome units that we're concerned about. So the Crystal Spires are going to do a good job of clearing through any of these shield bearers and should be pretty straightforward. Let's go ahead and let it run. Okay, Stormcallers and Frost Wizards about to be deleted. And now everything else is melee. The Untamed Beast is actually hitting those shield bearers as well. A couple other things you could do is you could put your units far enough back to where the shield bearers on the enemy side are closer to that Untamed Beast, and that Untamed Beast will just run right back at them and kill them first. Okay, let's move on to 227. Alright, we have 3 sets of assassins, a druid up here, druid up there, and a set of warhounds with 3 arcane blades and a monster hunter. So that monster hunter is one of my bigger concerns. He's totally immune to ranged damage with the exception of arcane archers and soul pylons, if I understand correctly. This assassin is going to take care of that druid, and these assassins are going to take care of that druid and that monster hunter. The plague bearers and the draining spirit are meant to be a point of gravity that all of these units are going to converge on and die very quickly. They'll get tagged with plague, which will slow them down, and they'll be taking consistent damage from that draining spirit. I think I've got a battle drummer. I should have a battle drummer right behind either that or it's 2 crystal spires. But either way, I've got crystal spire to do some sustained damage to everything as it's kind of ping-ponging around on these plague bearers. And these thorn guards in the back are going to soak all of the damage and kill all of these assassins that pop into the back. So yes, I'm pretty sure that that was a battle drummer there. So let's go ahead and run it. Yep, that is a battle drummer, so that's going to reduce the damage of everything in the radius, and that's everything. The plague bearers and the thorn guards were all protected by that battle drummer just camping out next to the crystal spire in the middle. Okay, 228. We have 3 druids in the back, 2 stormcallers, 3 groups of plague bearers, and 2 brutes. So here, what I've decided to do is I've moved my bomb bots way back from the front line in order to allow the assassins enough time to kill the stormcallers. So that's the first priority for my assassins. I tried to position them in such a way that they'll be hit first, and then they'll clean through the druids possibly after that if they don't end up getting mired in the plague bearers. I put my own plague bearers back here to walk forward slowly until they get to this point. I didn't want to put them on the front line because if the stormcallers do get off some shots, it could blow up my bombs. So I didn't want that to chain through, and that's why I put this back. The Ember Fiend is there to provide burn damage to take down some of the heavy health units like the brutes. The plague bearers would go down pretty fast anyway, and I know might get grief for this, but I do have the plague and burn condition represented here, which will override each other. But I figured it was better to have the plague bearers because they are immune to plague, which would have been a problem from these plague bearers, and they'll hold the line, allowing the burn to do its job, because they're going to be immune to plague as well. So these just act as bodies to hold everything back in order to allow the Ember Fiend to do its job. So that is that. Let's go ahead and let it play out. Okay, we're going for those storm collars. Okay, they are down. I was able to take out those brutes with the bomb bots, as well as some of the plague bearers. And everything else is clean up. Nice and smooth. Okay, moving on to 229. Alright, we have 2 catapults. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of hammer throwers and 2 earth elementals. So I figured I'd resolve those catapults right away, and I've got these 2 groups of assassins to do that quickly. If you have both assassins from each group dedicated to 1 catapult, they'll usually have it down before it gets a shot off. So I didn't have to worry about a barrier monk. What I have way down here is an arcane archer. And up here I've got some plague bearers. So what's going to happen is the bomb bots are going to explode the first phase of each earth elemental, which is going to cause their minions to walk a lot faster, and it's going to enable all of those minions to get stuck in the draining spirit radius, which is going to burn them down a lot faster. If you take this, big hunking earth elemental and stick it in a draining spirit, it's going to take forever. So I figured I'd expedite the process, knock out the first phase, get the second phase in there, and all these hammer throwers are going to start lining up within range of those plague bearers. But once the plague bearers are dead, the draining spirits are going to be attached to whatever earth elementals are still there, and the hammer throwers are going to start walking through that on their way to get back to these plague bearers, which will be part way up the field by the time that happens. So everything's going to get pulled to this point of gravity, and it's going to have to walk forward, get sucked up further into these plague bearers, which are going to come down and meet everybody, and that's going to get everybody mired in this set of entangling roots, which is going to allow this arcane archer to clean everything up during frenzy. So that is the strategy. Let's see how it goes. Okay, earth elementals toast, catapults toast, everything running to that point of gravity, and now the hammer throwers are going to start running into the draining spirits, and they die very quickly to those. And then it's just a matter of time before everything gets cleaned up by our dedicated arcane archer down in that bottom left corner. Very smooth. Didn't even need the entangling roots. All right, that was 229. Let's move on to 230, and then we'll call it for this video. All right, we have a lesser spawn of some kind. We've got 4 groups of archers, 3 groups of warhounds. So what I'm trying to accomplish with this one is normally you could use assassins or risen warriors or something to take these out, but there are other ways, and one of those other ways is to do attacks from both the top and the bottom. And this group up here is going to draw all the focus of these things and allows these 2 bomb bots, once they've cleared these front warhounds, it's going to allow my warhounds to come down and flank the archers on the bottom, which is going to clear them up. My whole main group is going to just proceed right through and kill those archers and then come down to Lesher. So that's the theory behind this one. You don't need a paladin or anything. I just got the battle drummer in there to kind of give some sustain to the whole group as it moves. And that's the concept behind that one. So let's go ahead and run it. Okay, there goes most of the warhounds. And there goes all the archers on the bottom. There goes all the archers on the top. And then my group just moves right on down and kills the Lesher clone. Having that battle drummer in there is very crucial because it reduces the effect of stun, and since hammer throwers no longer have the stun immunity, it is very helpful. And that's also why I picked shield bearers, is because they are immune to stun. So there you go, that's up through battle 230. Again, please do like and subscribe to the channel, and please check out thecommandtable.com, where we have tutorials, raid strats, and in the near future we will have merchandise and a comic strip. Thanks for watching. We'll have more for you soon.